online classes, 8th standard students. Today I am going to take up a new lesson, the heavenly parasol. I hope last lesson what I took in the last class, that is falcon. The Sindbad and his falcon. I hope you understood the story well, and few have submitted the classwork and grammar books, but remaining students are not submitted. I hope when I complete this heavenly parasol, I want you all to include this lesson in the classwork and submit to me as soon as possible. Okay, now let us go for this lesson. Mace is a simple weapon. It has a heavy wooden or metal shaft, often reinforced with metal, featuring a head made of stones, copper, bronze, iron, or steel. It was used in traditional warfare. Now here they are told about mace. What is this? It is a weapon. It is a simple weapon. So this weapon usually it was used when there was a fight between Bhima and Duryodhana, the warfare, that is traditional warfare. During that period, this mace was used because this is made out of, the head is made out of stones, copper, bronze. So like this, and this is mace used as a symbol of authority in the emblems of a number of government bodies. Means now at present, this mace is not being used by any people as a weapon, but it is only used in the emblem of the government officials. Okay, next come for this. What is a parasol? Where is it used? And why is it used? Now let us go for the main lesson. There was once a beautiful princess in the town of Pratyajyotisha called Amrita Prabha. So here it is a town of Pratyajyotisha. Pratyajyotisha is a town where Amrita Prabha was there. When she came of age, the king held a Swayamvara to enable her to choose a husband. So here marriage is fixed for her. As in what way? In the Swayamvara. So king arranged Swayamvara for a daughter. Many illustrious suitors, lured by tales of Amrita Prabha's beauty, assembled there. So many illustrious means here extremely amusing. What is this illustrious? It is extremely amusing persons. Lure means attract. Many kings, prince came over there because of Amrita Prabha's beauty. Among them was Meghavahana, the great grandson of the former king of Kashmir. So Meghavahana was one of the great former king's son. Amrita Prabha shyly cast her eyes over the court and wondered whom she would choose. Amrita Prabha, she was a queen where she has to select her king. To Meghavahana's surprise, the princess stopped before him and put the garland around his neck. He rose to his feet, unable to contain his joy. Now, as Amrita Prabha walking this side to this side, here, just walking in front of the princess, she saw who there? One person, that is Meghavahana. Who is the Meghavahana? Meghavahana was the former king of who? Kashmir, grandson. She stood there in front of Meghavahana and she garland around his neck. So at last she chose her life partner. The couple moved forward to seek the king's blessings. As the king stepped down from his throne, the priest cried out in surprise. So after that, usually what they used to do, they were after the marriage. So the marriage took place there, garland is over. Then both of them, the couple, went to take blessing from their parents. As they went, the king came to bless them. Your Honor, the parasol of Varuna has cast its shadow over the prince. So it is true, exclaimed the king. So they said that Varuna cast his shadow over the prince. So Varuna is casting his shadow over the prince. My son, you are favored by the gods. So they said that to the king said, my son, you are favored by the god. Meghavahana looked up in surprise, wondering at the meaning of these words. So Meghavahana just lifted up his head and he saw, what is this? He's wondering what the king is mean to say. All at once he saw by his side a beautiful dazzling white parasol with exquisite decorations that was casting his shadow over him. So as he saw them, he saw one beautiful parasol, means it is an umbrella, spread delicate. That is exquisite, means it is a delicate decorations that was casting his shadow over him. So casting his shadow on him with umbrella, it is where giving a shadow or shade for him. For whom? For the king. This is the parasol of Varuna, the lord of the seas. So Varuna is the lord of the seas. Explain the king. It cast means what? Spread. So it is spreading the shade for only for whom? For king. Its shadow on none else but a sovereign of the whole world. So it is only giving the shadow for whom? Only for the person. That is only for the prince Meghavahana and not for anyone. That is but a sovereign of the whole world. He is the sovereign of the whole world. What is the meaning of sovereign then? A person who is holding highest power. So for him we call it as the sovereign person. You are destined for glory and brilliance. Dazed by these portents and by his good fortune, Meghavahana brought his bride and divine parasol back home. After he received that parasol, he took the parasol as well as bride. Both of them brought his bride and the parasol to home. Upon his return, the ministers of the Kashmir court sought him out and offered the throne to him. We are dissatisfied with our present ruler, they said. He has devoted himself to a life of prayer and the affairs of the kingdom lie neglected. So what they said? The people, upon his return, after he returned, what they said? So they are not interested in the old person, that is who was ruling the throne. They want Meghavahana to rule the throne because they are dissatisfied. And also, he has devoted himself to a life of prayer. And also, not only they are satisfied, and also the person who was there before ruling, he has devoted his life for the prayer and the affairs of the kingdoms. So, he has neglected the kingdom's affairs, but he has devoted his life only for the prayer. So, these people want Meghavahana to take up the throne. The people suffer because of this. Your noble character and bravery are well known in these parts. Honor us and the land by accepting our offer. So they said that please accept our offer. Meghavahana became the king of Kashmir, so he proclaimed a law against the killing of living beings. As soon as he took up the throne, first what he wants to say is that he wants to stop killing of the living beings. It became his ambition to conquer other kingdoms to impose this law on them as well. And he wants to impose the same law to all the other places also as soon as he acquires the kingdom. Once while on an expedition near the sea, the king told his weary army to rest in the shade of some palm groves. Palm trees, palm groves are there, no? So when he was going that side, he told his soldiers to take rest little while under the palm trees, that is palm groves. I must use this time to plan a way to conquer the island of Lanka. So his plan is what? His plan is that he wants to conquer Lanka. That is island Lanka. He thought it is the land of demons and needs to be taught the ways of peace. But how will I cross the great seas with my army? So he's thinking, how can I cross the army? That too, with this great who? With the soldiers. He's wondering how to cross. All of a sudden, there was a cry in the air. So when he was sitting and thinking of this important event where he was to go and conquer the Lanka with his army, and also what is the main thing? He wants to cross the sea and go. How he can do this? So it is a biggest task for him in his life. So he's sitting and thinking of it. When he was thinking this topic, Immediately he heard a cry in the air. It seemed to come from a wood by the shore, not far from where the royal horses were tethered. Means he tied his horses near the wood bank over there. So where he tied from there, he heard a voices, only voice. The cry came again, and the king heard the plaintive call even under the of Manazir. I have been slain. Means, what is the word? I have been killed. I have been slain. S-L-A-S-M-A-I-N. Slain. Slain means I have been slain. This is the voice he heard. What's the meaning of slain? Slain means where it is killed violently. So I have been going to be killed violently. So that cry he heard. In his agitation, the king did not wait to summon his officers, but ran towards. He didn't wait for the soldiers. He didn't inform to the soldiers, "Oh, please come, let us go." He did not wait for anyone. He immediately ran towards the wood. Plunging through the undergrowth, he fought his way till he came to a clearing. There, before him was a temple of Chandika. Now, as he came there, he saw a temple, that is Chandika temple, in front of him. What is the Chandika? Chandika means, many people know Durga temple, with some sort of human sacrifice in progress on the steps. So Durga temple is there. In front of Durga temple, the steps are there, temple steps. So there, a type of sacrifice is going on. So a man lay on the ground, his arms raised for mercy. So man is lay and his hands is on top. Mercy is thinking what he has to do because they are going to kill him, sacrifice him. It is a human sacrifice. He is crying for the help. His arms raised for mercy, and a menacing looking barbarian stood over him. Barbarian. So here a big word came. Barbarian. What's the meaning of barbarian? It is a cruel human being. A human being. He is very cruel. He is not having any soft heart. He is very much cruel means cruel, so that he wants to kill the human being. Stood over him. So, in front of that person, a barbarian is standing, brandishing his sword, the big sword. Stop, cried the king. Then only the king went there, stop. He's going to take a sword and kill him. As soon as king saw this person, that is barbarian, cried the king, shocked at the sight. You right, you dare threaten another's life, threaten another's life in my dream. So in my ruling time, you are going to kill another person that is a living being. How dare you are? He got very angry. The barbarian dropped his sword in terror and fell on his knees before the king. So the barbarian, what did he do? He put the sword immediately down and he went in front of the king and he fell on king's foot, asking. The barbarian dropped his sword in terror and fell on his knee before the king. So, pardon. O noble one, have mercy. I am the leader of a troop of barbarians that live in this wood. So that lives in this wood. I am a troop head. That is, I am a barbarian for this troop. I am the leader of a troop of barbarians that lives in this wood. My little son has fallen prey to some disease and he is on his deathbed. So he's telling who that barbarian who wants to kill the person no, with this sword. As soon as the king came, what did he do? He went and fell king's leg, foot, and he wants to ask pardon that he is not going to excuse him, that he is not going to do it again. And what was the reason that means when king asked him? He said that his son is being prayed, means pray, P-R-E-Y. P-R-E-Y. Pray. Pray means he is suffering with some disease and is on his deathbed. So son is suffering with a disease and his son is in deathbed. If I kill this man, the gods will be pleased and save my son's life. Oh, see what is the thinking of that barbarian? He says that when this barbarian kills a person and give the blood to that Durga temple, that time the Durga will be pleased for this barbarian and she will bless this barbarian by giving life for his son. So this is his thought. So only he wants to kill that person over there. So this was said by the barbarian to the king. My little son has fallen prey to some disease and is on his deathbed. If I kill this man, the gods will be pleased and save my son's life. If you prevent the sacrifice, my son dies and the rest of my troop will give up their life with him. So even other soldiers of mine and my son, everyone will die in case if you stop this. I have to kill that person and give the blood to the Durga god. Otherwise, my son will die. Along with my son, other troop members also will die. Please don't stop me. This is what the barbarian will tell to the king. The king glanced towards a bundle on the temple porch and presumed it to be the sacrificed boy. His heart was torn with confusion and compassion. This man whom you desire to protect, continued the barbarian was wandering about. Alone and friendless in the forest, is he of more value to you than this child with whom many persons are connected? So he is asking, you are very much interested only about your son and you are not worried about this man to whom he is connected with many people. The victim sat crying on the ground. A look of terror on his face, tears fell from the barbarian's eyes. So then a tear started rolling down on his cheeks. Sir, tell me what to do, he cried. I cannot see my son suffer this way. He says, Sir, that is, please tell me what I have to do. You're telling me not to kill. Cannot kill him. How can I save my son? The king spoke firmly. Do not be distressed. I will save your son as well as this victim. I offer my body in sacrifice to Chandika. Kill me, O barbarian. May these two persons sleep. So he says that king says, I am ready to give my life. So you take my life, I offer my body in sacrifice to Chandika. I offer my body in front of Chandika, that is Durga temple, that is Durga god. Kill me, O barbarian, you kill me. Give up that to persons. The barbarian struggling between incredulity and fear. What is this incredulity? That is showing disbelief. Means that time he is showing disbelief. Took a step backward. He took a step backward. He doesn't want to kill king. Sir, you are the king. Your life should be protected at all times. Do not pity this victim. Let him die. So he says, so do not pity this victim. Let him die. But you are a king. You have to be saved. His life is of no significance. So there is no significance for his life, but for your life there is a significance. So that is what he says. The king shook his head impatiently. If I can use my body to stop a killing, why should I not? Do not speak another word, kill me. Don't speak another word, kill me. So king said. The barbarian hung his head and made no move to take the sword. Barbarian hung his head, he said no, and he did not pick up the sword from the ground at all because he doesn't want to kill the king. The barbarian hung his head and made no move to take the sword. If you cannot bring yourself to strike at me, I will use my own sword for the purpose. So what did king say? If you are not going to bring this sword and kill me, I'm having this sword. No, with my sword I will kill myself. Who said? King said. So saying the king drew out his sword, saying that he drew his sword from his pouch there. The barbarian and the victim watched in horror. Victim means killing the living creature and offering as religious sacrifice, that is called as religious. As Meghavahana was about to strike himself, his head was covered with divine flowers of exquisite color and perfume. So as soon as he thought that he wants to kill for himself, immediately as Meghavahana was about to strike himself, when he wanted to strike himself, his head was covered immediately. The head was covered with full of flowers and also color perfume. And someone held back his arm. The king whirled around in surprise and beheld a person of heavenly appearance. As soon as they turned back, to see who is there. So the persons who were there in the barbarian and all, no one was there. Then he realized that the barbarian, the victim, and the alien boy had vanished. So the boy who was sick in the deathbed, no, he and the victim and the barbarian all were there now in front of the temple of the Chandika temple. After he just should return back and say, no one is there, everyone has disappeared. Vanished means disappear. A divine being addressed the bewildering king, I am Varuna, the lord of the sea. Now, who is that? It is not the persons there. All these are in the bewildered king. I am Varuna, the lord of the sea. So, who is that? It is the god. Varuna, the lord of the sea, came over there. Want to test who? The king. In the way of victim, barbarian, and other type. I have come to reclaim my parasol that was carried away from my town by the powerful Boma, the father of your father-in-law. Your father-in-law's father is Boma. He only brought the parasol. So I have come here to take back my parasol. This is what? Who said? The Varuna. Who is he? Varuna is the lord of the seas. I created. It has powers to quell calamities in my land. I created these illusions to test your nobility of mind. So, why did he do this? Because he wants to test his nobility of mind. Whose mind? King's mind. You are truly compassionate and noble. So he said, you are a very noble person. Make a vahana, bow before the divine being and return the parasol reverently to him. So Megavahana, what did he do? He bowed his head in front of Varuna and he returned back the parasol. Then he asked hesitatingly, O Lord, encouraged by your praise, I wish to ask for a boon. So he said, okay, you have blessed me, but please bless me with the boon. Varade say no. So bless me with the boon. I need help to cross the water so that I may conquer the island. What did he ask? He said that only I need your help when I want to cross the sea. Because he is the Lord of the sea, no, Varuna. So he took his help. The following day, Megavahana assembled his troops on the shore. The water swelled and crashed on the sand, and the soldiers trembled at its might. Megavahana rode forward and plunged into the foaming ocean. So as he is going, so Megavahana, Varuna said, okay, Varuna smiled, so be it. When you are desire to cross the ocean, I will pull away the water. Then he disappeared with the parasol. Varuna said, as soon as you feel like crossing the sea, what I will do? I will pull away all the water. You immediately cross. I will help you in this way. Who said? Varuna said to go king. Then they started going. Immediately Megavahana rode forward and plunged into the foaming ocean. So as Varuna said, Varuna helped Megavahana. He went there. All at once the waters parted and the king, smiling at his troops' astonishment, beckoned them to follow him in this wondrous manner. So as soon as they went, water has been pulled away by Varuna. So they crossed the sea very easily. Meghavahana reached Lanka and won over its king Vibhishana in the form of friendship. So he went there, who? Meghavahana. Then he reached Lanka and won over this kingdom. That king has been won over there. Who is that? Vibhishana in the form of friendship. So he conquered his friendship there. On returning home, Amrita Prabha welcomed him and then looked around in confusion. After coming back to home, Amrita Prabha, where is the parasol, my lord? She asked. It never leaves your sight. It was never mine to keep, he answered. He said, it is not mine, so that I have to keep it with me. Yet the mark of favor shown to me by its divine owner will guide me through my life. So he said, my owner will guide me throughout my life. So that parasol never belongs to me, so I have returned it. As he spoke, the skies darkened, as if the parasol was casting its shadow over him, even from its heavenly abode. As soon as he was talking like that, it has become what? The parasol, the skies become very darkened. And again, He thought that the parasol is casting the shadow on him by blessing him from the heaven. So this is about the heavenly parasol lesson. I hope you all understood very well. Thank you, children. Okay, let me come to the second part of the class today. That is assignment. So first question. Write the rhyming words from the lesson in classes. So yeah, read the class reader and you'll find rhyming words in the reader. Make a note of the rhyming words in the classwork. This work you have to complete in the classwork. Second question. So when I was explaining today, I gave few meanings for the hard words. That meaning as well as in the reader you will have glossaries. Those both we are going to write each glossary 2 times in the classwork. Learn and write glossary. That is meaning. Third question, list out the characters from this lesson. Today I explained the lesson, the heavenly parasol. List out the characters. What is the meaning of the characters? Who all are there in this lesson? That is Meghavahana, then dash dash dash. You are going to complete it. Only one I have informed you. Characters means how many characters are included in this lesson. So that is how we are going to do it. Next maze has to be completed in the grammar, English grammar classwork. I hope you understood. Fourth question, third main, page number 7 from the reader. So that main is preposition. You are going to complete it. Fifth question, sixth main, page number 8. It is about the specialist. So that also from the dictionary you are going to search and write. Next last main, sixth question, 10th main, page number 10. That also in the reader. Those page number 10, the 10th main is about adjectives. You are going to complete it. So complete all this 6 questions in your classwork as well as in the grammar classwork and submit it to me as soon as possible. Thank you, children.